After beating the defending national champion Tar Heels, George Mason became an instant sensation. Players now had an unexpected opponent to deal with, the 24/7 media attention of being the Cinderella du jour. Not to mention, on the horizon was a rematch with Wichita State and the potential of Jim Calhoun and the UConn Huskies.
After beating the University of North Carolina in the round of 32, our team flew home on a chartered jet and received a police escort from the airport back to the George Mason campus. When we arrived at the Patriot Center, our home court, we were greeted by 7,000 George Mason fans. Our campus was wild with enthusiasm and excitement, and our players walked into an arena like you had never seen before. Everybody danced and cheered and just thought, wow, we are now coming back home to play in the Sweet 16 against Wichita State at the Verizon Center, 20 miles from our campus. Tickets would be hard to get. Our players were now being interviewed by CBS, ESPN, not the day of the game, but all during the day, every day before the games. CBS would come to my house at 7 a.m. in the morning. They'd watch me watch videotape. They would ride with me in the car all the way to campus. They would sit in on our staff meetings as we discussed our strategy. The night before the Wichita State game, we ate at Outback. The next day, we got up and prepared to play an outstanding Wichita State team. But from the opening tip-off, we never gave them a chance. Our players were so focused, they hit their first 3 threes, and we led 9-0. We never, ever let up, and eventually won the game by 7 points, 63-56, and moved on to the Elite Eight, where we would face the pre-tournament favorite, the University of Connecticut, and their outstanding starting 5, a group that would later be drafted by the NBA, all 5 starters be drafted, 4 in the first round. As we boarded the bus for the Verizon Center to face the University of Connecticut, the preseason tournament favorite, our bus driver was just as excited as our players and coaching staff. So much so that he was hustling along with a police escort. As we turned down one of the side streets on our way to the Verizon Center, the bus made a sharp turn and sideswiped one of the cars that was parked there. The first thing that ran through my mind was, oh no, we're now in an accident. We're going to be delayed and we're going to be late for our Elite Eight game with UConn. This can't be happening. See, one of the things about our program is we believe wholeheartedly in routines, in developing a routine for every single aspect of our program. There are routines of how the locker room should look. There are routines as how a player leaves the locker room. We have signs up that you have to tap to remind yourself of why you're leaving the locker room and what you're getting ready to do in practice. There are routines of how practice begins. We're always at the center circle. We're always clapping as a team. We always chant together because everything we do, we want to do together. One of the routines is we always want to arrive at the arena exactly an hour and a half before game time. That gives us 45 minutes to get ready, dressed and ready to go, and 45 minutes for our pregame scouting report by the assistant coaches and warm-up by the players. We had timed it so that when we left the Marriott, the hotel where we stayed at before the game, we had timed it and knew exactly how long it was going to take to get there. And our routine would get us there exactly an hour and a half before game time. Now I thought, we're in an accident, everything's going to be thrown off, this is a mess. The leader of our police escort on his motorcycle completely zipped around to look at the incident. He saw the accident, he saw the bus had hit the car. He told the bus driver, slide out your window, I need to talk with you. And our players and coaches could hear the policeman say, he's illegally parked, don't worry about him, get to the game. And we just kept going. And the car was towed, and we never heard anything further. We got to the arena on time and ready to play the University of Connecticut.